If you are interested in more about school specific in business and management, then you shouldn't miss our next feature school, which is EM Normandie. It's a grande école business school in France. And we are pleased to have Juliette here to introduce the program and more opportunity in the school. Please welcome. Right. Okay.
Hello again, Jade. Hi.
Hi.
Very nice to be here with you all. So I work for EM Normandie Business School, as you introduced. I'm the International Admissions Manager for Asia, particularly. So that means that I take care of receiving questions, profiles, also that I'm guiding students throughout their admissions. I'm the knowledge person if you need anything about our programs, or if you need to be put in contact with anyone at the school as well. And yeah, my work is mainly to make sure that all interested students can arrive on our campuses and in our programs safely and satisfactorily. So I prepared a small presentation for you all today that I'd like to share. Okay, so I'll start by introducing the school, of course, then we'll talk about the programs. I'll tell you all more about the admissions conditions and procedures so that you can have already the background of how it's going to go for your profile if you want to send it. Then a few more insights about what it is to be an international student at EM Normandie. And at the end, of course, we'll have the Q&A session. So feel free to send your questions while we have the presentation, and then we can tackle them at the end. What does EM stand for? It's École de Management. So that means management school or business school, if this vocable is more familiar to you. EM is part of the Grandes Écoles. We have 36 Grandes Écoles. What we mean is great schools in France. So we're part of this network. We are one of the oldest of this network, being 150 years this year. So it's a very important anniversary for us. And we are ranked on French ranking 20th and internationally as well. So for the QS World Universities ranking, we are 78th. And in the Financial Times ranking, we are 73rd. We have both the AACSB, which is American, and the EQUIS accreditation. That means that we are part of the 1% of schools in the world that are with the, you will discover. We have several campuses and a little more key figures that I'm going to introduce here. So for this year, so we started in September 2021. This year we have 5,800 students, and about a fifth of them are international students. And we have 58 different nationalities this year. We have 5,000 partner companies around. And of course, we're looking to grow this network. We offer, thanks to these companies, in part, we offer around 15,000 jobs and internship on our inside network, meaning that we have public offers, of course, but we also get very specific offers from our partners that we keep for our students for either their first job after graduation or for their internship during their stay with us. We also have 200 partner universities that we work with very closely, especially with 25 of them with whom we have dual degrees. So if you're interested in such kind of diplomas, you can get information about this. A dual degree means that you get a degree from us because you're staying with us for your main diploma, but you also get to study in another university, which is a partner, and they will give you their diploma as well. So it's you don't double the time, but you double the number of diplomas you have at the end of your study time. So this is a really interesting cooperation frame. We have now more than 100 professors, and almost all of them are PhD holders. And of course, we also work with external professionals. They're very important to the kind of way we want to teach, because they bring the hands-on experience. We need the theory, of course, and we try to get the best for the theoretical part. But we also want to have people with practical knowledge come in and infuse this into the programs. And of course, we have alumni members. So this year we are counting 21,500. And as you can imagine, every year this network is growing. Our campuses, I said a little earlier that we have 5 campuses. We're looking to open new ones. So that the ones that we have since the longest time are the ones in Caen and in Le Havre. So the ones at the left of the slide, you can see here. These are the towns where we existed first in the Normandy region. If you can locate them on the map of France in the middle down. So both campuses, of course, are not the ones that we had 150 years ago. Those are modern campuses. I'll get to introduce them in more details a little later. And then we opened a new campus in Paris 7 years ago. We needed to have a base in the capital because we wanted to have more professional opportunities for our students. So the best option for us was to be in Paris, Paris being the most international town as well in France, where you get the most global headquarters, big companies. So that really opened a whole new dimension for our students and a new playground for them to such work on. Then we also wanted to offer our students more international opening, more opportunities to connect with the world. So we just crossed the sea first. We went to the UK and Ireland. So we opened a small campus in Oxford and another one in Dublin. And so this is very, very dense if you look at the world map. So it's all close together. You just have to cross the sea and you're in the international campuses. But now that EM Normandie is really a growing school, we want to expand further. So we'll open a campus in Dubai next year, next university year. So in 2022, we'll have the first programs running there. And we'll be also sending students within the longer programs that they can do in France with small parts in Dubai. And in 2023, we're opening in Asia as well. So the idea was to be in a port city that had to be an international connected port, a globalized city as well. So we chose Ho Chi Minh City. So well, those of you who are in Vietnam or planning to be, maybe you'll meet us there at that time. So a little more about each campus. I don't want to be a bit boring about the campuses, but it's important that you know where you're headed, because France is a very big country, and the city that you will be choosing, if you want to choose France, is also important. France has a lot of different landscapes, different climates. So you want to be sure that you find a place where being a student is agreeable, where you'll meet people and you'll have a lot of activities to do on the side. So for our campus in Le Havre, that you can see on the screen right now, this is the most modern that we have at the moment. So we opened it last year. So architecturally wise, it's really magnificent. As you can see, it's something very innovative. We worked with a very famous architectural cabinet in France, actually. And even though it's modern, it's still the campus where we still have the most historic feeling, where we get the most international students as well. And this is the place where we have the best latitude to help international students find their accommodation, because we have a very wide network of private-owned accommodation and residences. So if you're looking for an experience that is more comfortable, with more support, this is probably the best choice in terms of campus. Also, I want to mention that it's very close to the sea. If we can just walk to the sea, to the beach. It's a rock beach, but it's beautiful. So if you want to feel connected to the ocean, that's really the place to be. The next most modern campus that we'll get is in Paris. At the moment, we're in the 16th district. That's quite close to the Eiffel Tower, hence the illustration we chose for this presentation. But next year we'll be in Clichy, which is a city connected right to Paris. So it's not intramuros anymore, it's just outside of the boundaries of Paris itself, which is very convenient because accommodation is cheaper. It's still very connected to the city, but easy to commute to. And of course, bigger, because in Paris, the rents are so high that it's difficult to have a big campus. So we chose to go just a little further to have a big campus. And we aim for this campus to be our next biggest international campus. We'll have a lot of programs there. So if you're interested to be in the city of design, in the city of luxury, of fashion, of cooking, of culture, well, this is your chance, because the next campus will really be made for you international students, and we'll do our best so that we can accommodate you comfortably there, and that you can have the best experience as a student. I'll go a little quicker on the 3 next campuses because they're a little smaller in terms of number of international students, but we still have programs there that may be of interest to you. Caen is like Le Havre. It's 2 hours from Paris by train, so it's very close to Paris, the capital. The campus is not in the town center, so it's easy to find accommodation just close to the campus. And Caen is also a city that has a lot of students. It has 14,000 students, so if you're looking to make friends, it's a very nice location to be based in. Oxford, so one of our smaller campuses, because we have less programs there. That means it's not a negative thing, because it means you know everyone, you make friends very easily, and people have your back if you have questions, if you want to have a visit of the town, if you want to have tips on how to find a nice shared flat. It's super easy in Oxford because, well, the ambience is very, very friendly, very family-like. Same goes for Dublin, and I must say that both cities are very interesting in terms of student life. There's a lot to do. In Dublin, it's probably more of a party destination than in Oxford, where you have a lot of culture as well. But in both cases, you won't be disappointed if you want to have a bustling life as a student, if you want to meet international people, if you want to work on your English. And when it comes to Oxford, this is a very nice location if you are looking for a career in finance or in banking, for example. And in Dublin, of course, you've heard, all of you, about the GAFAM, Google, Amazon, Facebook, etc. So all of these have headquarters in Dublin. We're working very hard to get partnerships with these gigantic enterprises, but also with some startups companies. So we want to make the most opportunities we can for our students there. And the economic growth in Dublin is astounding. So if you're looking for a first job in those kind of companies, it's really the place to be. So now that I've talked about the campuses, I'd like to introduce our programs a bit more. Yeah, we still have about 15 minutes, so we're good. So I chose to start with the Master in Management because that's what most international students from Asia choose usually. And that's our flagship program, let's say. So the Master in Management, it's a 2 years program, meaning you can do it after an undergraduate program degree. So you could have a bachelor in 3 years, for example. The price is 11,500 euros per year. So times 2 if you're staying for the 2 years of the program. The first year, you don't have many choices for the campus. You can be either in Le Havre, that I presented earlier, or Oxford, if you'd like to be abroad and not in France right at the start. So the first year is composed of core management courses. And if you choose the French track, you can specialize more. But if you choose the English track, which most of you would, it's more generic because we do a few groups, mostly with international students, but some French students as well. And we can't offer as many specializations, but don't worry, you'll get them in your second year. I have to mention that between the first year and the second year, if you're interested, you can have a gap year, meaning you can do 2 times 6-month internship. Of course, we won't let you all by yourself to find an internship. The school can help. So you could do your internship in France. You could do your internship anywhere else, in Taiwan, in Asia, in Europe, whatever your fantasy is. And we'd be able to help you search for it, craft your profile and everything. That could be interesting if you want to get professional experience before you finish your second year. Okay, so going into the second year, which is really what you aim for, because that's the specializations that you will get at the end of your diploma. We have at the moment 19 specializations, and all of them will ask you to do at the end. The internship is 6 months. Once again, you can do it in France if you're interested, or abroad. We're very open, no limitation regarding this. Plus a dissertation or a thesis, if you'd like, master thesis. So that's the second year is very long. It's a little more than an academic year, the classical one. So if you started in September, your second year, you will finish probably in October or November the next year. You have to take that into account. If we go into the specializations of the masters, so we have listed them by campus. You'll see that we have many in Paris. Some of them are in French. The other ones which don't have an FR are in English. So in English, we have marketing and digital in luxury and lifestyle. That's our most attractive program for this master's. We have artificial intelligence for marketing and strategy. This program is specific because it's in cooperation with an engineering school in France called EPITA. We have international events management, financial data management, and sustainable business and strategy in English in Paris, all of them. Then in Oxford, we have the banking, finance, and fintech specialization, as I mentioned before. In Oxford is really the best location if you're looking to work in finance or banking. This program is a hit because, well, all of our graduates will find work before they finish the program. The pressure on the work market is really high. So if you feel that you have a calling in this, don't hesitate. This is really the program for you. In Caen, we have a program in international marketing and business development, and another one in international business. So these two are our most generic second year specialization. If you're not sure if you'd like to do finance or marketing, you want to do a bit of both. You want to grow your own business, for example, but you want to see all aspects of business management. Those are probably the two programs that are better suited for you, so that you'll see all aspects of running a business. In Dublin, we have digital marketing and sales. Once again, this is really related to the location. All the major companies will be looking for people able to do digital marketing that is up to date and someone that is able to evolve with all the techniques that are going right now, but also someone who has an eye for sales, so really business minded. So this program is perfect if you're looking to work in companies, in the ones that are in Dublin right now. And in Le Havre, so as I said, it's a port city, it's close to the sea. We have a very, very big focus on supply chain and on logistics. So if this is your thing, Le Havre and these programs are really what you need. You'll be seeing everything in supply chain and transportations and logistics. We also, well, we have a very, very active research center in logistics. So you will really be studying all the last trends in supply chain, being sustainable supply chain, for example, or everything that is connected supply chain, digital supply chain. So this is once again, this is the place to be if you're looking to join that sector. One thing I'd like to mention for the Master in Management, this is an accredited program by the French government, meaning that if you get this program, it's the same as any master program granted by the French states itself. So you have the best in terms of recognition. International recognition will never be a problem for you wherever you go. All right, so now going into our MSc programs, you'll see that it's also a program in 2 years, but it can also be taken in 1 year. So if you already have a bachelor in 4 years, for example, and you're not looking into a master that needs 2 years to be done, you can aim at this kind of program and go directly into the specialization, meaning that you would go for one of the ones that are listed in the 2 columns on the right. So you'll see in Paris, Le Havre, Caen, Dublin, and Oxford, those specializations that I already introduced on the previous slide. You have a little less than during the masters, but the main our main areas of expertise are there. If you want to do the first year, if you have 3 years in higher education and you need a first year before going into the specialization, that's also possible. The first year is, sorry, there's a mistake here. The first year is in Le Havre, just like the Master in Management, and it's core management courses as well. What is the difference between doing the Master in Management or the MSc in 2 years? You'd like to ask, probably because they look the same. So this MSc programs will also grant you a diploma that is endorsed by the French state. So the recognition is the same. The price is slightly different, but you'll see that with 2 years, it's almost the same. We have small differences when it comes to the English level. So it's easier to get into the MSc program if you have a lower English level, because we have more English courses during the first year of MSc. So if you're not very confident on your English level, if you have an IELTS 5.5, that's the minimum we're asking, you can look for this program because we'll be helping you having a better English before your specialization year. So that's one of the promises of the program. And then also for this program, we don't have an age limit. So for the Master in Management, you can enter the program before 25. For the MSc, there is no age limit. So if you're 30 more, whatever your age is, whatever your professional experience is, and you're looking to go back to studying, this is the program that is best suited for you. Now I'm going back to the Bachelor in Management. So we have a Bachelor in 3 years. I'll go a little faster now because I see the time is running. So the first year is core management courses. once again, because it's the first year after your high school, so it's important we see the basics. Second year as well. You'll see that you have semesters abroad, so if you're interested, you'll be able to study in France with us. It's in Le Havre, but also to visit one of our partner universities during your second year. And then your third year. So you can specialize in French or in English, or a little bit of both if you want to mix. And we encourage all of our students to study a little French, because that will open more doors for you if you want to work or have an internship in France, of course. So this is the heck of it for the program. That's 3 years, once again, endorsed by the French state. So in terms of recognition, you'll get the best. And the price is 8,000 euro per year if you start for the first year. But if you already have 2 years in higher education, you can also join the last year of the bachelor directly. And finally, we have the Bachelor in Business Administration. We're currently accrediting this program. So it's being reviewed by the French state as we speak. This is the program as we crafted it. The first year and second year will be in Paris. So we want to keep this program very international. So the first and second year will be in Paris. The third year will be in Dubai on our new campus there. And the fourth year will be half either in Dublin or Oxford, so across the sea, next to the UK. And over half will be e-learning, made of challenges, business seminars, and research work. So you have a bit of the content here on the slide, but I won't be detailing this because we don't have time today. But if you're interested to get more content, of course, I'll be happy to provide that. So just to sum up the eligibility criteria for the bachelor and BBA, if you have at the moment, if you have a high school diploma or an end of secondary degree, you can join either the bachelor or the BBA first year. If you have a little more, if you already joined a university or a school and you have done 2 years, you can come into the third year of bachelor. So we'll ask for 2 years of study or currently studying for the second year. You have our English skill base that we're asking for. So for the Bachelor 1, IELTS 5, for the BBA 1 as well. And if you're coming into Bachelor 3, then we ask for a little more, which is 5.5. For the Master and MSc, so after you are graduated, Master and MSc, you can come after 3 years of study. If you have a licensed degree, if you have a bachelor in 3 years, or if you've done, I don't know, engineering school for 3 years, that's also eligible. If you have 4 years already, you can come into the MSc for 1 year only. And I mentioned, for those of you who speak French, after 5 years, you can also come into a French program that's called MS, Master Spécialisé. You will find here again what I told you earlier, that the difference of minimum we're asking in English. If you're going into the masters, we're going to ask for an IELTS 6 and 5.5 if you're looking for the first year of MSc in 2 years. The admission process is quite the same as any business school. 4 steps. First, you apply online. It is free if you indicate in your file that you were an attendee of the fair. So don't hesitate to put that information. It will save you 50 euros. We review your profile. That's the second step. We offer you an interview that will be on Skype. And if the interview is positive, you get an email saying, congratulations, you are eligible. And you can pay a deposit, meaning that you pay a first part of your tuition. That is 3,000 euro. That is very, very easy to understand. Career path, I'll go quickly on that. This means all of the services that you'll get with the school to help you start your career, but also before meaning when you're a student with us, how to learn to present your profile to a company, how to find the jobs that are related to what you want to do, how to approach a company. We have coaches, we have methods, we'll help you do your CV, we'll help you find offers. We have a whole department dedicated to this. The professional integration of our graduate students, master students, is very high. As you can see, we have a net employment rate of 90% of them right after the graduation. But if you look 3 months after that, it's already 93%, so it's even higher. And you have another look of their salary at the bottom of the slide. That's in euro. So about half of them get a first position between 30 to 40k euro per year. That also, of course, includes people working in France or abroad. The kind of functions they're working in: commerce, auditing, consulting, communication, finance, mostly. Then for a bachelor, the net employment rates right after 3 months is kind of the same, 90 or 92%. The sectors are the same. We have more people in logistics after bachelor. Then I wanted to tell you a little bit about the specific benefits for international students. The scholarships we have, you can get in touch with me if you're interested to know more about this. We have 2, and both of them are 10%, and you can cumulate them. The first one is easy to get. You just need to apply before February, and you will get automatically those 10% off your tuition fee for the first year. And if you're looking to cumulate to arrive to 20%, then you'll need to make a profile for merit-based scholarship. So you need to get in touch with me for that. We have services for accommodation. We have an induction program so that you arrive and you can visit the town and the campuses. We support you for your administrative procedures, of course. We can help for your airport pickup the day you arrive. And of course, we have events all throughout the year. And additional languages courses if you'd like to study French, once again. This is my contacts. I can also write it down in the Q&A if you'd like to just copy it more easily. I'm on WhatsApp, so please don't hesitate to contact me very directly there and very, well, informally. You don't have to be too formal, but I'll be happy to receive emails as well. So really up to you. And that's it for the presentation. If you'd like to ask some questions now, I'll be happy to take them and answer live. Otherwise, I'll be happy to also take them through email and answer later.
All right. Thank you, Juliette, for your introduction here. So let's welcome the questions from our audience regarding the application of program. I think Julia, you also mentioned one thing, like one of the points is like the difference between MIM and MSc, which quite often I'll be asked this question as well, since we don't have such differences of master program. So it's not so familiar for a Taiwanese student here.
Okay,
First,
I
if
understand.
you got confused, feel free to ask.
Well, just to explain how it came to this differentiation and why we have both in France. Historically speaking, we have masters because our graduation system is first you go into license degree. We have the license degree in France, and then you go into the master degree. The master's is very well known around the world because you get this in all the countries, I guess. The license is a little less known. It's more of a bachelor when you look globally. But those are the classical diplomas you get. And then the business schools in France wanted something that is equivalent to a master, but more professional. So less theory and more practical teaching. So in hand with the industry and the French government, they created the MSc diploma that we do give now. And those are really crafted following the job market needs, because we at some point the French government felt that the masters existing were producing more and more workers, but maybe the work was not there waiting for them. So that's why we created MSCs. That's about 20 years ago, I feel. And now the MSc program that we have will give the MSc diplomas, so that's created degree, plus the government endorsed degree.
This audience interested to study international event management.
Great.
I believe it's gonna be the master program. So which campus can they choose? Since I think in the first year in MIM, there are 2 campuses to choose, right? It's up to the applicant, or it's actually based on the courses they select?
It's up to the applicants, so that it's easier for us to get all the students for first year on the same campus. So we chose Le Havre, and then we opened a small class in Oxford. So that's the 2 choices students will get. Either they join the big international campus we have in Le Havre, and that's in France, or they go into the small campus in Oxford. It's also international because it's in Oxford and very mixed, but it's smaller. And then the international events program is in Paris. So that person is looking for that track, meaning in any cases, choosing Le Havre or Oxford, they will have to move at some point between one campus and the other. So it's not 2 years on the same, but it's interesting as well.
So it's, I think it's MSc.
It could be both. Yes, it could
both,
be one or the other, depending on his age, level of English. Yeah.
So if he or she has a MICE certificate, would it be plus when they are applying for the program, or would it be like get their chance to get accepted higher during the application?
So MICE certificates, is it only language, or does it hold other qualifications?
For MICE, it's like events, like meeting, incentives, convention, and events. It's a specialized certificate events.
I see. Yes, definitely for UCA, but would be a very nice plus. When we receive profiles, we expect the student to explain their motivations. And though we can, of course, accept people with no background in events because, well, they were bachelor students before, we expect them to have an interest in the sector. So showing a certificate, of course, shows more than an interest, but also already skills. So that's a very big asset.
Well, and I think aside from the basic or mandatory document to be submitted, anything or document, projects, presentations that are related to the subjects you're applying for, definitely you are welcome to submit them.
Exactly.
So if for those who have the working experience, like a few years, probably 1 to 2 years, would you recommend them to choose either MIM or MSc, or it's really up to the applicant whether they would like to learn the whole general knowledge of specific subjects, or would they like to specialize in certain field? What would you recommend to them?
So it depends how much of experience they have. If it's 1 year, 2 years, then I consider that these people are young professionals still. So they would fit into a class of young people, meaning the MIM, because as I said, the limit is 25. So that's, in any case, if they're more than 25, they can't go into the MIM. And if they have more extensive experience, it will be more interesting for them to go into the MSc. So the population you will get into the Master in Management will be a lot of international students, but also a lot of French students. Most of them will be between 22 and 25. And in the MSc programs, you'll get more international in terms of quota, mostly internationals, actually. and more of them will have professional background already. So the population is also different, meaning that the group works and the after works as well will be different.
So it's really up to your age, first of all, and also how many years of professional experience you already have in order to decide which program you're going to. Okay, the last question is about which document is more important for application. I suppose he or she would like to know like which criteria is more important when the school is selecting students.
The main one, but of course it's very administrative. It's scores. Transcripts and or diploma. We like transcripts actually really a lot because it tells us a lot about the background, the interest of the students, their academic achievements. So yeah, that's for sure the best. But my personal favorite is more of the motivation letter, because that's where the student really gets to express themselves.
Let's say just be prepared for the holistic evaluation from the school side.
But don't worry, well, transcripts don't say everything. So that's why we have interviews as well. So you can explain maybe why you were so good in one subject and so bad sometimes in another one. And yeah, that's not a problem.
Yeah, since we talk about the transcript, the diploma, okay, here we have, so if an applicant has an applicant doesn't have any degree or diploma in business, can it apply to any business related master program?
Yeah, thank you for this question because it's actually super interesting. So the way it works in France and in our school, because we have a lot of students that go into their studies, they rush into their studies right after secondary, right after high school. And so they end up doing a license degree or a bachelor that they don't really like, but they won't go until the end. So they do the 3 years to get the diploma. So it's very frequent that someone will change drastically, completely between the bachelor and the master's. So it's really the exact right moment when you can reorientate your profile, you can change. I especially like when people say, okay, I've done biology before, but I'm interested in marketing, but I don't want to completely lose biology because I feel that it gave me some skills, and then they can explain what it gave them, but they can also explain why they don't want to keep doing it. So it is especially interesting for us, and I think that it will also enrich the school not to have 100% people coming from business, doing business, graduating in business. Yes.
Just be prepared how you can persuade
exactly
convince the school that
exactly
you are
the most
from
important
discipline, but you can manage another master in the future as well.
Exactly, the most important is what you make of it. It's not a failure, it's part of you. What do you make of it? Yes,
I think that's all we have for today's session, but of course Juliette also left her email on the chat box, and also the phone number. If you're using WhatsApp, you can contact her through that as well. So thank you, Juliette, for coming up here again with us. And
thank you, Jade. Thanks to your team too. It was great. And thanks all for listening to me. I'll be looking forward to meeting some of you, e-meeting some of you.
E-meeting.
Yes.
Let's hope which the pandemic will go through pretty quickly in the next year, so we can go abroad and pursue our dreams furthermore.
Exactly.
Thank you, Juliette, and thank you for attending today's webinar, and we hope to see you very soon in our next events.
Have a nice day.
Have a good day.